Hi, I'm Poppy Tooker. I'm a native New Orleanian who has been teaching the food of my home, New Orleans, for about 25 years now. This is my very favorite activity, and the reason is that I love to get out-of-town folks here to New Orleans and then have the opportunity to show them the real thing done the right way. It is incredibly important to saute the okra, to cook it fast and hot. I've been involved in the world of food for many, many years. Slow food in particular has been almost like a religion to me since 1999. And I was fortunate enough last fall to have received the first and so far only Carlo Petrini Leadership Award. The Times-Picayune awarded me the distinction of being one of their 10 heroes of the storm. Now, this wasn't about pulling people out of the water. This was the 10 people that the Times-Picayune came up with who had done, in their estimation, a great deal to help rebuild the city. This January, you can pick up an issue of Fine Cooking magazine where you will find, written by me, the definitive gumbo article. So Fine Cooking thought that I was enough of an expert to do that. And I'm currently working on a cookbook, the official Crescent City Farmers Market cookbook. A roux is nothing more than a combination of oil and flour. How much? Well, about equal parts oil and flour. The color that we're going to cook our roux to is a roux color that would completely horrify the French. They stop cooking their roux when it's about a caramel color, but we are going to continue to cook ours until it reaches milk chocolate brown. And now we're going to add the onions first and by themselves. I don't know why you don't see this in written recipes much, but it is tremendously important, no matter what you're cooking with the dark Creole roux, to add your onions first and by themselves. That's because onions have a great deal of natural sugar in them. And the sugars exude themselves into the onion juices that come out into the dark roux. And so you'll see what has happened now is we've gone from a milk chocolate brown to a bittersweet chocolate brown. And now this is the color of the true Creole roux. Get the whole tomatoes and squeeze them as they go into the pot. Basically, everything that you prepared to go into the gumbo goes into the stock pot, with the exception of one ingredient: no bell pepper paring. We never put bell pepper in a stock because raw bell pepper, when boiled, often gives the stock a bitter off flavor. And we're going to add our okra. Gumbo crabs might seem like a mystery ingredient in many parts of the country, but if you ask your fishmonger, it'll surprise you. It's nothing more than a crab that is too little for anybody to have wanted to boil and pick to sell the crab meat from. So now we're going to break these crabs up and put them into the pot. Give them a little squeeze, break them in quarters. Now, if you can't find the gumbo crabs, don't worry about it. You can always stir some crab meat in at the end of the cooking process at the same time that you stir in the shrimp. A bay leaf goes into the gumbo, and we're going to add some thyme. You may be thinking, why didn't she add the garlic at the time she sauteed the rest of the seasoning vegetables? And the reason for that is that for all of its strong flavor, garlic is very delicate about how it must be treated. You just take that flat edge of the French knife and give that garlic a good solid whack. Once you've whacked the peels off, then we're going to give it a little coarse chop. Kosher salt is providing just enough abrasion so that we can then take our French knife and press down on it, and look how beautiful the garlic becomes. It turns into this lovely, lovely fine paste. We're going to finish the gumbo with two things, one of them being green onions. I like to do them like this, thin and on the diagonal, like Jacques Pepin would say, on the bias, because it adds a little beauty to the dish. It makes the green onions almost like an internal garnish. it's a great idea to make the gumbo the day before and then reheat it, because gumbo, like so many stewy dishes, really tastes better if it sits overnight. We're going to add our beautiful wild-caught Louisiana shrimp. They're peeled and into the pot they go. Once you add the shrimp, you've got to taste it and you've got to undoubtedly salt it again. So I'm going to add a little salt. We're not going to add black pepper. We're going to add hot sauce. And the hot sauce is going to provide just enough spice without it being too hot. And it's going to balance the seasonings with that little bit of vinegar that is in the hot sauce. That ought to do it. It's about a tablespoonful. You know, you can't be tasting out of the pot, licking it and putting the spoon back in. So we take a little bit of the soup. We add it. This is the spoon that goes into the pot. This is the spoon that goes into the mouth. How do I always know which spoon is which? My tasting spoon always has the lipstick on it. So here is a bowl of my gumbo, the very best gumbo that you're going to find in New Orleans. Ask anybody, they'll tell you it's true.